Have you ever realized how much time and energy we waste trying to explain ourselves to people who couldn't care less? Really think about it. How often have you felt the need to justify your choices, defend your goals, or wait for approval? Before chasing what you truly want, here's the truth: every minute you spend trying to prove your worth to someone else is time you're stealing from your own progress. That energy could be better used moving forward. The moment you turn your focus inward, everything starts to shift. Why? Because success doesn't come from talking about your plans or convincing others of your potential. It comes from doing, from discipline, from showing up day after day even when nobody's watching. Most people stay stuck not because they lack ability, but because they're constantly distracted. They get caught in the noise. They scroll endlessly through social media, comparing their lives to someone else's highlight reel. They stress over what others might think if they take a different route. They argue with people who don't even have their best interests at heart. And then, they wonder why they're exhausted, frustrated, and not making progress. But here's the thing: once you cut out the noise, once you stop justifying yourself and lock in on what really matters, you become unstoppable. Because success is built in the quiet moments. In the early mornings when it's just you and your vision. In the late nights when you choose discipline over comfort. In the consistency that no one else sees. You don't need applause. You don't need validation. What you do need is to keep showing up. Because when you focus on your growth, your habits, your mindset, your entire life starts to shift. You attract better. You decide wiser. You feel more confident, not because someone told you you're enough, but because you've shown yourself that you are. Now let's be clear. This doesn't mean shutting the world out. It means protecting your space, being intentional with your energy. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every person deserves access to your thoughts. Not every conversation deserves a reply. When you start guarding your focus, you gain control over your life. And here's the best part: when you stop broadcasting your every move and start putting in the work quietly, your success becomes impossible to ignore. People will notice. They'll see the results. You won't have to say a word. Your actions will speak for you. So here's the challenge: stop announcing. Stop waiting. Stop doubting. Start doing. Focus on your path. Be consistent. Be intentional. Because what you focus on multiplies. Focus on growth, learning, and discipline, and watch your life transform. Your energy is your most powerful asset. Yet so many people don't realize how much control they have over their reality. Every decision, every thought, every action, it's all building your future. The problem: most people direct their energy toward the wrong things. They worry about what's lacking instead of what's possible. They prioritize distractions over progress. They care more about outside opinions than their own goals, and then wonder why they're stuck. Here's the reality: your life reflects what you give your attention to. Feed yourself negativity, surround yourself with the wrong people, waste time on what doesn't serve you, and your life will mirror that. But when you shift your focus to self-growth, learning, and becoming your best self, things change. And this isn't just feel-good advice, it's neuroscience. Your brain is wired to notice more of what you focus on. It's called the reticular activating system. Decide to buy a new car. Suddenly, you see it everywhere. That's your brain filtering the world. So imagine if you trained your mind to look for solutions instead of problems, opportunities instead of limits. You'd start attracting what aligns with that mindset. The issue is, most people don't take responsibility for their attention. They wake up and immediately check their phones, letting the world decide their mood. They drown in negativity and meaningless distractions, and they wonder why they feel drained. But your energy, it's yours. No one's going to protect it for you. You have to be intentional about what you allow into your space. That means setting boundaries, saying no when something doesn't align, choosing the right people, replacing excuses with action, and distractions with focus. When you commit to feeding your mind with the right thoughts and building the right habits, results will follow. And when results show up, everything shifts. The noise fades. The opinions stop mattering, not because the world changed but because you did. You learn to prioritize what truly matters. And that's where transformation begins. Success isn't about luck, it's about alignment. Getting your mindset, your actions, and your energy working together toward the future you want. You don't need the full map, you just need to focus your attention in the right direction. You're either feeding your future or fueling your fears. So ask yourself, what are you focusing on? Distractions are one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck. Not because they aren't talented or capable, but because they keep getting pulled off track. Every time you let outside noise into your mind, you're taking energy away from the things that matter. It's not just the obvious time wasters, either. Sometimes distractions look like urgent emails, unnecessary conversations, or social commitments you don't really want. They feel small, but they add up. And over time, they slow you down. That's why the most successful people are ruthless with their focus. They don't let outside forces control their time. They protect it fiercely, because they know their goals depend on it. If you want to do something meaningful, you have to adopt that same mindset. You have to be intentional with your time, energy, and attention. And one of the biggest traps? Caring too much about what others think. We hold back out of fear of judgment. We don't go all in because of criticism. But here's the truth, people will judge you either way. So why not chase what makes you happy? When you stop giving weight to opinions that don't matter, you unlock the freedom to fully focus on your journey. And with that focus comes clarity, momentum, and real results. But none of this happens by accident. It requires intention, boundaries, a clear daily structure that puts your priorities first. It means cutting out toxic people, ditching bad habits, and eliminating anything that slows your progress, because success isn't about grinding endlessly. It's about being smart with your energy. Protect your focus like your future depends on it, because it does. If you're not where you want to be, take a hard look at where your energy is going. Are you investing it in growth or wasting it on distractions? Once you take your focus seriously, everything changes. You will move faster. You'll feel stronger. You will realize just how capable you really are, and the best part? It becomes second nature. Focus becomes your new normal. Progress becomes a habit. The things that used to throw you off, they lose their power over you, because you've trained yourself to stay locked in on what matters. So don't let distractions rob you of your potential. Guard your time, guard your energy, and watch how quickly your life begins to shift. Success isn't built in one big moment, it's built in the small, repeated actions you take every single day. We often think it'll take one breakthrough to change everything, but it's the quiet work, done consistently, that makes all the difference. Every decision matters. Waking up early, choosing discipline over ease, reading instead of scrolling. All those small wins build momentum. And while they may seem insignificant today, they stack up over time. Most people fail not because they didn't try, but because they quit too early. They don't realize the power of patience and repetition. But success is like planting a seed. You don't see results immediately, but underground, growth is happening every time you show up. You're building strong roots. Eventually, the results break through. You just have to keep going. The ones who succeed are those who stay consistent even when the progress is invisible. So if you're doing the work and not seeing results yet, don't stop. They are coming. Change doesn't happen overnight. It happens slowly, through steady, intentional effort. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep moving, keep learning, keep showing up. Because the life you want, it's built one focused day at a time. The people who truly make progress aren't the ones who wait for the perfect opportunity or chase one grand moment. They're the ones who keep pushing forward, even when it feels like no one else is. The powerful thing about progress is that once you start seeing results, momentum begins to build. One good habit often leads to another, and small wins give you the motivation to keep going. Success tends to multiply, but it all begins with the small choices you make daily. That's why your daily habits matter more than you might realize. If you want to be healthier, It's not about an intense workout once in a while. It's about moving your body consistently. If you're aiming for career growth, it's not about one huge leap, it's about continuously learning and improving. If you want to build confidence, stop waiting for others to approve of you. Start proving your worth to yourself through consistent action. The best part? You can start now. You don't need perfect conditions or anyone's permission. What matters is showing up daily, even in small ways, that move you closer to your goals. Stay consistent, trust the journey, and one day you'll look back and see how far you've come. This is the compound effect of self-growth. It's not about one big move, it's about making intentional, consistent decisions every single day. That's what makes success not just possible, but inevitable. Confidence doesn't come from likes or compliments. It comes from doing, from showing yourself that you're capable. Confidence is built through repetition, through effort, through action. It's not something you're born with, it's something you develop. And the only way to get there is by taking steps forward, even when you're unsure or afraid. If you're waiting for the perfect moment to act or hoping someone will tell you it's okay to go for it, you'll stay stuck. Not everyone will support or understand your path, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep going anyway. The most confident people aren't fearless, they simply trust themselves enough to take action despite uncertainty. They don't waste time seeking approval. They prove their ability through effort. Confidence is built by acting before you feel fully ready. Doubt and fear are normal, but you can't let them stop you. The more action you take, the less you rely on outside validation, because you've already proven your worth to yourself. That's real confidence. Self-trust built from experience. You don't have to be the most talented or the smartest, you just need to be brave enough to take consistent action. Every time you push yourself, step outside your comfort zone, or do something uncomfortable, your confidence grows stronger. So stop waiting. Stop worrying about what others think. The only approval you truly need is your own. Confidence is about trusting yourself to take the next step, even without all the answers. And once you start doing that, your life begins to shift. You stop needing permission. You simply show up for yourself, day in and day out, until confidence becomes who you are. When that happens, nothing can stop you. Patience and discipline, those are the real game changers. They're what separate those who achieve their goals from those who give up too soon. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they lack the patience too. Keep going. They expect quick results and lose hope when things don't happen fast. But anything truly worthwhile takes time. Every person who's achieved something great stayed disciplined, even when it was hard, even when progress was slow. They understood that growth is a process and that consistency over time is the key. A lot of people start out excited but lose momentum at the first sign of difficulty. They interpret delays as failure. But in reality, the delay between effort and outcome is normal. Just like a seed planted in the ground, growth often happens out of sight before you ever see results. And that's where patience comes in. Discipline, on the other hand, keeps you going when motivation fades. Because let's face it, there will be days when you doubt yourself, when the process feels slow, when you don't feel like showing up. Discipline is choosing to act anyway, not because you're inspired, but because you've made a commitment to yourself. People chase motivation when what they really need is discipline. Motivation is fleeting, but discipline is what drives lasting change. It's about staying focused, showing up, and doing the work even when no one is watching. And when you combine discipline with patience, that's when everything starts falling into place. Stop expecting quick results. Stop letting temporary challenges shake your belief. The truth is, we overestimate what we can do in a short time and underestimate what we can accomplish in the long run. Small, consistent actions over time lead to massive transformations. So, if you feel stuck, ask yourself, are you giving it enough time? Are you staying disciplined even when it's tough? Because if you are, keep going. Your breakthrough is coming. The ones who succeed aren't always the most gifted, they're the ones who never gave up. And remember this, real success doesn't require attention. It doesn't need applause. You don't need to announce your every move. The most powerful thing you can do is let your results speak for you. Too many people talk about what they're going to do instead of doing it. They seek validation before they've even started. But when you constantly talk about your goals, your brain gets a false sense of achievement, and you lose the drive to follow through. Progress doesn't happen in the spotlight, it happens in quiet moments, when it's just you and the work. The most successful people don't feel the need to talk. They take action, stay consistent, and let their results speak for themselves. Protect your energy by keeping your goals to yourself. Not everyone will support your vision, and sharing it too soon can invite unnecessary doubt. Focus your energy on building, not explaining. Block out the noise and avoid comparison. Everyone's journey is different. Your only competition is who you were yesterday. When you stop chasing validation and start focusing on your own growth, things start aligning. Opportunities show up, progress becomes visible, and confidence grows not because someone told you you're good enough, but because you know it yourself. Success isn't about being loud, it's about being consistent. It's about showing up day after day, regardless of who's watching. It's about putting in the work quietly and trusting that your dedication will pay off. And when it does, you won't need to say a word, your results will say everything. If this message spoke to you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Blink News, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a dose of motivation and self-growth. Your journey starts here and we're with you every step of the way.